Your deal's a fraud, Nia Carter declared, her voice cutting through the elite laughter at Blue Crescent's VIP table. The billionaire's smirk vanished as her words exposed a sinister plot threatening his empire. With a hidden past and a sharp mind, Nia unveils secrets that could unravel a web of deceit. From waitress to strategist, her fight will leave you stunned. Where are you watching this epic saga unfold? Drop your city in the comments, like, and subscribe for more heart-pounding drama. Nia Carter wove through the crowded tables of Blue Crescent, her white uniform catching the dim glow of chandeliers as she balanced a tray of bourbon cocktails. The saxophone's wail cut through the chatter of elite patrons, their laughter sharp with wealth. Nia's face stayed calm, a mask honed over 3 years of hiding. Once a data analyst prodigy, she'd been crushed by Marcus Kane's betrayal, framed for his crimes. Now she was just a waitress, or so they thought. At the VIP table, Vincent Harlow held court, his gray vest crisp against the mahogany booth. The tech titan's voice boomed over the music, dissecting a $50 billion blockchain startup buyout, Vortex Solutions. His nephew, Elliot Vance, slouched beside him, tie loose, eyes glinting with petty ambition. Lydia Pierce, Harlow's cybersecurity chief, sat opposite, her red dress a bold slash against the muted decor, her gaze flicking with calculated disinterest. Elliot, itching to steal the spotlight, leaned forward, his smirk wide. "Hey, Uncle Vincent, why don't we get some fresh perspective?" He waved at Nia, who was setting down drinks. "Ask the waitress what she thinks of your big deal." Vincent's laugh was low, cruel. He turned to Nia, his eyes gleaming. "Well, miss, got any hot takes on a billion-dollar buyout?" The table erupted in chuckles. Lydia's lips curled, her fingers tightening around her glass. Nia froze, her tray steady, but her pulse raced. She caught the name Marcus Kane in their earlier talk, a knife to her gut. Her eyes flicked to Vincent's open briefcase, the Vortex logo stark on a folder. She knew that design, Marcus's signature. "I'm serious," Elliot pressed, enjoying the game. "What's your take, sweetheart?" Nia's voice came out low, cutting through the noise. "You're walking into a trap. Vortex is a scam." The laughter died. Glasses clinked as hands stilled. Vincent's smile vanished, his eyes narrowing. Lydia leaned forward, her red dress rustling. "Excuse me? You're out of line." Elliot scoffed, but his bravado faltered. "What, you moonlight as a stockbroker?" Nia didn't flinch. She set the tray down, her movements precise. "Marcus Kane designed Vortex to collapse your company after the deal. The blockchain contracts are rigged with fake transactions. You sign, you're done." Vincent leaned back, his face unreadable. "Bold claim for a waitress. You know Kane?" Nia's jaw tightened. "I know his work. He's done this before." Lydia's laugh was sharp. "This is ridiculous, Vincent. She's nobody." "Quiet," Vincent snapped, his gaze locked on Nia. "How do you know this?" Nia met his stare, her voice steady. "I've seen his code. The patterns in Vortex match his old tricks. Hidden accounts, inflated valuations. Check the contracts. You'll find a shell company, Nexus Vault, buried in the fine print." Elliot snorted. "She's making it up." "Nexus what?" Vincent ignored him, his fingers drumming the table. "You're saying my team missed this?" "I'm saying Kane's good at hiding," Nia replied, "but I'm better at finding." The air grew heavy. Lydia shifted, her eyes darting to Vincent. "You're not seriously listening to her, are you? She's a server." Vincent's voice was cold. "I listen to anyone who makes sense, and right now she's making more sense than you." He stood, buttoning his vest. "You're coming with me, now." Nia blinked. "Where?" "My office," Vincent said. "You've got one shot to prove this. If you're wrong, you're out of a job." Elliot gaped. "You're kidding. You're taking her seriously." "Enough," Vincent barked. He grabbed his briefcase, the Vortex folder slipping slightly. "Move!" Nia's heart pounded, but she nodded. As she turned, Tessa Monroe, her friend and fellow server, caught her arm. Tessa's green uniform was neat, her eyes wide with worry. "Nia, what's going on? You okay?" "I'm fine," Nia said, her voice low. "I'm taking him down." Tessa's grip tightened. "Be careful. Those people, they're sharks." Nia gave a small smile, then followed Vincent toward the exit. Lydia trailed behind, her red dress a warning signal, her heels clicking like a countdown. Elliot muttered under his breath, shoving his hands in his pockets. As Nia stepped into the cool night air, the weight of her past crashed over her. Marcus Kane's shadow loomed, but she wasn't running anymore. She was fighting. Vincent's driver opened the car door, and Nia slid inside, her white uniform stark against the leather. Vincent sat beside her, silent, his eyes fixed ahead. Lydia's glare burned from the opposite seat. The car pulled away and Nia's mind raced. She had 48 hours to prove Marcus's scam, or lose everything again. But as the city lights blurred past, she felt a spark of resolve. Marcus thought he'd buried her. He was about to learn how wrong he was. Nia Carter sat at a sleek workstation in Harlow Innovations, her white uniform glaringly out of place amid the humming servers and glowing screens. Her fingers flew across the keyboard, diving into the Vortex Solutions data Vincent had unlocked. The air buzzed with tension, the faint hum of tech underscoring her racing pulse. She was back in her element, but the stakes were higher than ever. Marcus Kane's shadow loomed in every line of code she scanned. Vincent Harlow stood nearby, arms crossed, his gray vest immaculate. His eyes tracked Nia's every move, sharp and unyielding. "You've got 48 hours, he said, voice low. "Show me Kane's scam, or you're out." Nia nodded, not looking up. "I'll need full access to the blockchain contracts." "Done," Vincent said, tapping his tablet to grant permissions. "But don't waste my time." Lydia Pierce leaned against a glass partition, her navy vest crisp, her arms folded. "This is a mistake, Vincent," she said, her tone clipped. "She's a waitress, not a cybersecurity expert. We've audited Vortex. It's clean." Nia's fingers paused, her jaw tightening. Lydia's dismissal stung, but she pushed it down, focusing on the data. The blockchain contracts loaded, and she spotted it immediately. A subtle irregularity in the transaction logs, just like Marcus's old tricks. "It's not clean," she said, voice steady. "There's a hidden layer of fake transactions funneled through a shell company. Nexus Vault." Lydia's laugh was sharp. "Nexus Vault? You're reaching." "It's real," Nia shot back, pulling up a transaction chain. "Look at the timestamps. They're backdated to mask the flow. Kane's done this before." Vincent stepped closer, peering at the screen. "Explain." Nia pointed to a string of code. "These contracts are rigged to inflate Vortex value now, but they'll trigger massive losses after the buyout. Nexus Vault is the key. It's a front to hide the bad debt." Elliot Vance, slouching in a nearby chair, snorted. His tie hung loose, his eyes glinting with skepticism. "What's next? You gonna find aliens in the code?" "Come on, Uncle Vincent, she's bluffing." "Quiet, Elliot," Vincent snapped, his gaze fixed on Nia. "Keep going." Nia's heart pounded, but she pressed on. "Kane's buried the real data behind a biometric lock. I can't access it without higher clearance." Lydia stepped forward, her heels clicking. "That's above your pay grade, sweetheart. Our systems are secure." Nia's eyes flicked to Lydia, catching a flash of unease in her posture. "Secure, sure," Nia said, "but not perfect. There's a network vulnerability in your guest partition. I can exploit it." Lydia's face hardened. "You're accusing me of incompetence?" "I'm stating facts," Nia replied, already typing. In 30 seconds, she bypassed the guest permissions, pulling up the admin directory. The room went silent. The analysts at nearby stations staring. Lydia's cheeks flushed, her fists clenching. Vincent's lips twitched, almost a smile. "Impressive, but that doesn't prove Kane's involved." "It's a start," Nia said, scrolling through the directory. She found an encrypted file labeled Eclipse. Her stomach twisted. It screamed Marcus. "This file's locked with biometrics. I need access." Lydia crossed her arms. "That's restricted. Only I can open it." "Then open it," Vincent ordered, his voice like steel. Lydia hesitated, her eyes darting to Elliot. "It's not that simple. Compliance." "Now," Vincent cut in. Lydia's jaw tightened, but she stayed put. Nia's suspicion grew. Lydia was hiding something. Before she could press, her phone buzzed. A text from Tessa Monroe, her friend at Blue Crescent, saw Lydia texting someone named Kane. "Be careful." Nia's blood ran cold. She glanced at Lydia, who was whispering to Elliot, her navy vest catching the light. Elliot nodded, his expression smug. She's in over her head, Lydia, he muttered. We need her gone. Nia's fingers tightened on the keyboard. She spoke without looking up. Vincent, check Lydia's access logs. She's been in the Eclipse file more than she's admitting. Lydia's head snapped up. That's absurd. Is it? Nia said, her voice calm but cutting. She pulled up a log showing Lydia's recent activity. You accessed Eclipse 3 times this week. Care to explain? Vincent's eyes narrowed, turning to Lydia. Well, Lydia stammered, her composure cracking. It's routine maintenance. You're blowing this out of proportion. I don't think so, Nia said, her gaze locked on the screen. She found a trace of a transaction linked to Nexus Vault, but the biometric lock stopped her cold. Someone's covering for Kane, and I'm betting it's you. Elliot laughed, but it sounded forced. You're paranoid. Vincent, she's wasting our time. Vincent ignored him, his voice low. Lydia, open the file. That's an order. Lydia's hands shook, but she didn't move. Nia's phone buzzed again. Tessa. Lydia's meeting someone tonight. I'll follow her. Nia's resolve hardened. She was close, but the clock was ticking. Marcus's web was tightening, and Lydia was the key to unraveling it. As Vincent's stare bore into Lydia, Nia typed faster, knowing one wrong move could end her chance to bury her old mentor for good. Nia Carter's fingers danced across the keyboard, her white dress catching the faint glow of Harlow Innovations screens. She dug deeper into the Vortex data, her pulse quickening as she traced a transaction from Nexus Vault. The patterns screamed Marcus Kane, his old playbook, slick and ruthless. She'd been here before, 3 years ago, when he framed her for his crimes. The memory stung, but she shoved it aside, focusing on the code. Vincent Harlow loomed nearby, his gray vest sharp, his eyes locked on Nia. You accused my cybersecurity chief, he said, voice low. Better have something solid. Nia didn't look up. I do. Nexus Vault's a front. The transactions are fake, designed to tank your company post-deal. Lydia Pierce, in a red blouse, stood rigid, her arms crossed. She's lying, Vincent, she snapped. I've audited Vortex myself. She's inventing conspiracies. Nia's screen flashed with a new log, a transfer link to Lydia's user ID. Then explain this, Nia said, swiveling the monitor. Your account accessed Nexus Vault last week. Twice. Lydia's face paled, but she recovered fast. Routine checks. You're twisting data to frame me. Elliot Vance, slouched in a chair, smirked. His loose tie dangled, his eyes glinting with distrust. She's got no proof, Uncle Vincent. Just hot air from a waitress. Vincent's jaw tightened. Show me more, Nia. Nia pulled up another transaction, her voice steady. This transfer's backdated to hide its origin. It's Marcus's signature. Same trick he used to set me up years ago. She hesitated, then added, He cost me everything. I won't let him do it to you. Lydia laughed, sharp and cold. Oh, please, you're a disgraced analyst with a grudge. Vincent, she's playing you. Nia's chest tightened, but she kept her eyes on the screen. Check the metadata, it doesn't lie. Vincent leaned closer, studying the log. This better hold up. Before Nia could respond, her phone buzzed. A text from Tessa Monroe, her friend at Blue Crescent. Lydia met someone shady after her shift. Heard her say, Kane's plan is safe. Watch your back. Nia's stomach twisted. She glanced at Lydia, who was whispering to Elliot, her red blouse a stark warning. She's too close to this, Nia said, voice low. Lydia's working with Marcus. Lydia's head snapped up. That's insane. You're desperate, throwing accusations to save yourself. Elliot nodded, his smirk widening. She's got nothing, Vincent. Why are we wasting time? Vincent's voice cut through. Enough. Nia, you said there's a biometric lock. Where are we on that? It's tied to Eclipse, Nia said, pulling up the file. Only Lydia can open it. If she's clean, she'll prove it now. Lydia's hands clenched, her eyes darting to Vincent. This is a setup. I don't have to play her game. Vincent's stare was ice. Open it, Lydia, or I'll assume you're hiding something. Lydia froze, her breath hitching. It's not that simple. The protocols... Now, Vincent barked. Lydia's defiance cracked, but she didn't move. Nia's phone buzzed again. Tessa. Just got a weird call. Guy said, tell your friend to back off, or you're both done. Sounded serious. Nia's heart raced. Marcus was closing in, using Lydia as his shield. She spoke, her voice firm. Vincent, Lydia's been in contact with Marcus. I have proof. She forwarded Tessa's text to Vincent's tablet, the messages glowing on his screen. Vincent's face darkened as he read. Lydia, care to explain this? Lydia's composure shattered. Those texts are fake. She's manipulating you. Elliot shifted, uneasy now. Uncle, you're not buying this, are you? She's a nobody. Vincent ignored him, his eyes on Nia. You're saying my own team's betraying me? I'm saying Marcus is, Nia replied, and he's using Lydia to do it. Open the file, and we'll know. Lydia's hands shook, her red blouse catching the light. You're ruining me, she hissed at Nia. Nia met her gaze, unflinching. You did that yourself. Vincent stepped forward, his voice deadly calm. Lydia, last chance. Open it, or you're done. Lydia's eyes darted between Vincent and Nia, her resolve crumbling. She reached for the biometric scanner, then pulled back, her voice a whisper. I can't. The room went still. Vincent's face hardened. You're suspended. Get out. Lydia staggered back, her red blouse a blur as she fled. Elliot gaped, his bravado gone. Nia's fingers tightened on the keyboard, her mind racing. She'd exposed Lydia, but the Eclipse file was still locked, and Marcus was out there, watching. Tessa's warning echoed. Danger was closing in. As Vincent ordered security to escort Lydia out, Nia dove back into the data, knowing Marcus's next move was coming, and she had to be ready. Nia Carter's fingers hovered over the keyboard, her white coat shimmering under Harlow Innovations' stark lights. She stared at the locked Eclipse file, its biometric seal taunting her. Lydia's suspension had cracked Marcus Kane's armor, but the real fight was just beginning. Nia's pulse raced. She was close to exposing her old mentor, but one misstep could ruin her. Vincent Harlow paced nearby, his gray vest slightly unbuttoned, his face a mask of barely contained fury. You got Lydia out, he said, voice low. Now what? That file better have answers. Nia nodded, eyes on the screen. It will. I found a transaction trail from Nexus Vault to a personal account. It's Lydia's. Vincent stopped pacing, his eyes narrowing. You're saying she's been taking payouts? Big ones, Nia said, pulling up the data. Thousands every week, funneled through a proxy. Marcus is paying her to keep Eclipse hidden. Elliot Vance, leaning against a desk, scoffed. His tie was gone, his shirt rumpled from the long night. This is nuts, Uncle Vincent, he said, his voice edged with jealousy. She's throwing dirt at everyone. You gonna let her run the show? Vincent's glare silenced him. She's the only one finding anything. Speak, Nia. Nia's voice was steady. I can't open Eclipse without Lydia's biometrics, but I can trace the money. I moved it to an SEC-controlled account. She'll have to unlock it now, or she's finished. Vincent's lips twitched, almost impressed. You play dirty. I play smart, Nia corrected, typing fast. She sent a secure alert to Lydia's company email, flagging the frozen account. She'll get the message. The door buzzed, and Tessa Monroe slipped in, her green uniform creased from a late shift at Blue Crescent. Her eyes were wide, her voice low. Nia, I followed Lydia. She was on the phone freaking out. Said something about Marcus and cleaning up the mess. Nia's stomach twisted. She's still working for him. Tessa nodded, glancing at Vincent. I got her call log. It's on my phone. Show me, Vincent said, his tone sharp. Tessa handed over her device, and Vincent scrolled through, his face darkening. Multiple calls to an encrypted number. This isn't routine. Elliot shifted, uneasy. So what? Doesn't mean it's Kane. Nia ignored him, her focus on the screen. A notification pinged. Lydia had logged into the system remotely. She's biting, Nia said, her voice tight. She's trying to access the account. Vincent leaned closer. Can you force her to unlock Eclipse? Watch me, Nia said. She rerouted Lydia's login to a secure terminal, trapping her in a virtual dead end. A prompt flashed. Enter biometric key for Eclipse. Nia held her breath. The system chimed. Lydia's face appeared on a video feed, her red blouse disheveled, her eyes wild. What are you doing? She hissed. You're ruining me. Nia's voice was ice. Open the file, Lydia, or the SEC gets everything. Lydia's hands shook, but she pressed her thumb to a scanner. The screen flickered, and Eclipse opened, revealing a trove of fake transactions, rigged contracts, and a direct link to Marcus Kane's offshore accounts. Nia's heart surged. Proof, at last. Vincent's voice was grim. This is it. Kane's finished. Before Nia could respond, the door slammed open. Marcus Kane strode in, his gray vest flawless, his smile cold. Vincent, I heard you're having doubts, he said, his voice smooth. I'm here to set things straight. Nia froze, her blood turning to ice. Marcus's eyes locked on her, his smile widening. Nia Carter, from my star analyst to a waitress? What a fall! Elliot gaped, then laughed nervously. Wait, you know her? Marcus ignored him, his gaze on Vincent. She's a criminal, Vincent. Disgraced, fugitive. You're trusting her over me? Vincent's face was stone. She's shown me more than you ever did. Marcus's laugh was sharp. She's feeding you lies. Vortex is solid, audited by the best. Your girl's just desperate for attention. Nia's hands clenched, but she stood tall. I have proof, Marcus. Eclipse shows everything. Your fake accounts, your rigged deals. Marcus's smile didn't waver. Proof? From a hacked file? Good luck selling that to the board. Elliot, sensing an opening, stepped forward. She's got no credibility, Uncle. Kane's right. She's playing you. Nia's phone buzzed. Tessa texting. I recorded Lydia's call. Kane's voice is on it. Nia's resolve hardened. She turned to Vincent. Give me 1 minute. I'll bury him. Vincent's eyes flicked between her and Marcus. You've got 30 seconds. Nia pulled a hard drive from her pocket, her voice steady. This has your old code, Marcus. The one you used to frame me. It matches Eclipse perfectly. Marcus's smile faltered, just for a second. Nia plugged in the drive, her fingers trembling. The room held its breath as the screen loaded, and Nia knew this was her chance to end Marcus, or lose everything. Nia Carter's hand steadied as she clicked the hard drive into place, her white dress catching the harsh glow of Harlow Innovation screens. The room was silent, all eyes on the loading data. Marcus Kane's code, her code twisted to frame her 3 years ago, flashed up side by side with the Eclipse file's rigged transactions. Nia's heart pounded. This was her moment to bury her old mentor. Vincent Harlow stood rigid, his gray vest creased from the long night. This better be good, Nia, he said, his voice low, eyes flicking between her and Marcus. Marcus, in his sleek gray suit, leaned against a desk, his smile sharp. She's bluffing, Vincent, he said. That drive's probably fake, just like her story. She's a fugitive, disgraced. You're betting your company on a waitress? Nia's jaw tightened, but she kept her focus on the screen. This code, she said, pointing to the left display, is what you used to set me up. It's identical to Eclipse's transactions on the right. Same patterns, same backdoors. You didn't even bother to change it. Marcus laughed, but it sounded forced. You think a few lines of code will take me down? My audits are airtight. Lydia Pierce, now sidelined but still in the room, her blue navy coat draped over a chair, nodded eagerly. He's right, Vincent, she said, her voice shaky. Vortex was vetted by top firms. She's making this up. Elliot Vance, slouched nearby, his shirt untucked, chimed in. She's got no standing, Uncle. Why are we listening to her over Kane? Vincent's eyes narrowed, his patience thinning. Because she's the only one showing me evidence. Nia, keep talking. Nia's fingers moved fast, pulling up a transaction log. These are Nexus Vault's payouts, she said. They tie directly to Marcus's offshore accounts. He's been siphoning funds, inflating Vortex's value to trick you into signing. Marcus's smile wavered, his hands slipping into his pockets. That's circumstantial at best. You've got nothing concrete. Nia's phone buzzed in her pocket. She glanced at it. A text from Tessa Monroe, her friend from Blue Crescent. Got the recording. Kane's voice, clear as day, talking about Eclipse and sending now. Nia's resolve surged. She forwarded the audio to Vincent's tablet, the file pinging onto his screen. Play it, Nia said, her voice firm. Vincent tapped the tablet, and Marcus's voice filled the room, smooth and smug. Lydia, keep Eclipse locked. If Harlow signs, we're golden. The recording cut off, leaving a heavy silence. Lydia's face drained of color. That's That's not what it sounds like, she stammered. Elliot's mouth hung open, his bravado gone. Wait, that's real? Vincent's voice was ice. You've been working with him, Lydia. You're done. Lydia backed away, her coat slipping to the floor. Vincent, I didn't. I was pressured. Save it, Vincent snapped, waving to security. Two guards escorted Lydia out, her protest fading down the hall. Marcus's smile was gone, his eyes cold. You're grasping, Nia. That recording proves nothing. The board won't buy it. Nia stepped forward, her voice cutting through. The board won't need to. This code is your signature, Marcus. You used it to ruin me, and now it's ruining you. She zoomed in on the screen, highlighting identical encryption keys. It's a perfect match. You're caught. Vincent studied the display, his face grim. This is enough to kill the Vortex deal. Kane, you're out. Marcus's hands clenched, his voice low. You're making a mistake, Vincent. And you, Nia, you'll regret this. Nia met his gaze, unflinching. I'm just getting started. Elliot shifted, his eyes darting between them. Uncle, you sure about this? She could still be wrong. Vincent ignored him, turning to Nia. You've got my attention. What's next? Nia's chest tightened, but she spoke clearly. We need to secure your systems. Marcus will hit back, hard. Marcus's laugh was bitter as he headed for the door. Enjoy your little victory, Nia. It won't last. The door slammed behind him, leaving a chill in the room. Tessa slipped in, her green uniform wrinkled, her eyes wide. Nia, I heard him on the phone outside. He's planning something big. Something about crashing your network. Nia's stomach dropped. She turned to Vincent. He's not done. He'll use my old code against you. Vincent's face hardened. Then stop him. Whatever it takes. Nia nodded, her fingers already back on the keyboard. Marcus's threat hung heavy, but she'd exposed him once. She could do it again. As the screens flickered with new data, she braced for the fight ahead, knowing Marcus was out there, plotting his revenge. Nia Carter's fingers flew across the keyboard, her gold kimono jacket catching the dim light of Harlow Innovations' control room. She scanned the system logs, her pulse racing as she tracked an anomaly, a high-frequency trading algorithm built from her old code, now weaponized against the company. Marcus Kane's digital assault was bleeding Harlow dry, costing millions daily. Nia's jaw clenched. She'd exposed him, but he was hitting back harder. Vincent Harlow stood over her, his gray vest unbuttoned, his face etched with strain. Your call, Nia, he said, voice tight. This algorithm's killing us. Fix it. Nia nodded, eyes glued to the screen. It's my code, twisted by Marcus. It's predicting our trades and sabotaging them. Elliot Vance, pacing nearby, his shirt sleeves rolled up, scoffed. So you built the thing that's screwing us? Nice going, genius. Nia's gaze flicked to him, sharp. I built it to find weaknesses, not exploit them. Marcus turned it into a weapon. Vincent's hand slammed on the desk. Enough, Elliot. Nia, how do we stop it? Nia leaned forward, pulling up a trade log. We don't stop it. We trap it. Fake a massive sell-off of CyberGuard stock. Marcus will bite, and we'll crush him. Elliot stopped pacing, his eyes narrowing. You're betting our core asset? That's insane. It's the only way, Nia said, her voice steady. He thinks we're desperate. Let's make him believe it. Vincent's eyes searched hers, then he nodded. Do it. But if this fails, we're done. Tessa Monroe slipped into the room, her green uniform creased from a rushed trip from Blue Crescent. She clutched her phone, her voice low. Nia, I got something. Lydia's working with Marcus from a remote server. I hacked her email, found plans for this algorithm. Nia's stomach twisted. Show me. Tessa handed over her phone, displaying an email from Lydia outlining the algorithm's attack pattern. Nia's eyes scanned it, recognizing her own code structure. This is it, she said. They're using my work to bleed us out. Elliot snorted, his jealousy flaring. You're trusting her friend now? Vincent, she's leading us into a trap. Vincent's voice was cold. Back off, Elliot. Tessa's got more guts than you. Tessa flushed, but Nia gave her a quick nod. Good work. Keep digging. Nia turned back to the screen, setting up the fake sell-off. She leaked a memo through a dark pool exchange, signaling a CyberGuard dump. Her fingers trembled, This had to work. He'll see this, she said. He'll short the stock, thinking we're collapsing. Vincent watched the monitors, his voice low. And if he doesn't? He will, Nia said, her tone firm. He's too arrogant to resist. Elliot, unable to stay quiet, stepped closer. I don't like this. I'm calling a contact, someone who can verify her plan. Before anyone could stop him, he dialed a number, his voice loud. Yeah, it's Vance. Harlow's selling CyberGuard. Spread the word. Nia's head snapped up. Elliot, stop! You're leaking it! Elliot froze, the phone still to his ear. The room went silent as CyberGuard's stock ticker on the screen plummeted. Vincent's face turned to stone. You idiot, he growled. You just tanked our stock. Elliot stammered, his face pale. Was trying to help. You thought wrong, Nia cut in, her voice like a blade. She dove back into the system, rerouting the leak to a controlled channel. I can fix this. The leak makes it look real. Marcus will double down. Tessa's phone buzzed, another message. Lydia's server just activated. They're watching. Nia's heart raced. She glanced at Tessa, who nodded, already typing to trace the server. I'm on it, Tessa said. Lydia's not getting away. Nia's screen flashed. Marcus's algorithm was moving, shorting CyberGuard with massive leverage. He's in, she said, her voice tight. He's all in. Vincent's eyes widened. How much? Billions, Nia said, watching the data stream. He's betting everything. Elliot, still shaken, muttered, If this goes south, we're finished. Nia ignored him, her focus absolute. She adjusted the fake sell-off, making it look chaotic, baiting Marcus further. Tessa leaned over, whispering, I got Lydia's location. She's feeding Marcus real-time data. Nia's resolve hardened. Then we move now. She sent a final signal through the dark pool, locking Marcus's algorithm into the trap. The screen glowed with his overcommitted position, vulnerable to a single push. Nia's fingers paused, her breath shallow. Marcus was hers. She just had to spring the trap. As the monitors flickered, she braced for the final blow, knowing one mistake could cost them everything. Nia Carter's fingers hovered over the keyboard, her white vest gleaming under Harlow Innovations' pulsing screens. The control room was taut with silence, the weight of Marcus Kane's massive short on CyberGuard stock ticking like a bomb. Nia's trap was set, and the next move would end him, or destroy everything. Her pulse thrummed, but her focus was razor sharp. Vincent Harlow stood beside her, his gray shirt sleeves rolled up, his face carved with tension. It's now or never, Nia, he said, voice low. Make it count. Nia nodded, eyes locked on the monitor. He's overcommitted. One push, and he's done. Elliot Vance slouched against a console, his shirt rumpled, fidgeted nervously. This better work, he muttered, his earlier bravado gone. I didn't tank our stock for nothing. Nia's glance was sharp. You almost ruined us. Stay out of my way. Tessa Monroe, in her creased green uniform, leaned over a nearby terminal, her fingers flying as she tracked Lydia Pierce's remote server. Nia, Lydia's still feeding Marcus data, she said, voice tight. I've got her IP, but we're running out of time. Keep her locked out, Nia said, her voice steady. She initiated the final phase, sending a press release through a secure channel. Harlow Innovations partners with tech giant to revolutionize blockchain security, boosting CyberGuard's stake. The signal hit the market wires and the stock ticker froze, then surged. Vincent's eyes widened. It's working. The screen exploded with movement, CyberGuard's price rocketing in a brutal short squeeze. Marcus's algorithm, over-leveraged, began hemorrhaging funds. Nia's breath caught as billions vanished from his position, his empire crumbling in real time. Elliot gaped, his voice hoarse. He's wiped out. Tessa's terminal pinged. She'd blocked Lydia's server. She's cut off, Tessa said, a grin breaking through. Marcus is blind. Nia's hand stayed steady, monitoring the collapse. This is for everything you took, she whispered, her eyes burning. The monitors flickered, and a video feed hijacked the main screen. Marcus Kane's face appeared, his gray suit disheveled, his smile gone. Nia, he snarled, his voice crackling. You think this finishes me? I made you. I'll break you again. Nia's stomach twisted, his words cutting deep. She stood, her white vest stark against the dim room. You didn't make me, Marcus. You underestimated me. Marcus's eyes flashed. I ruined your friend too. Remember Clara? I framed her, just like you. You're nothing special. Nia's hands clenched, the name slicing through her. Clara, her old colleague, had vanished after a similar setup. Her vision blurred, but she forced it back. You're done, Marcus. This code is your confession. She typed a final command, activating a hidden failsafe in her old algorithm. Marcus's system crashed, the video feed cutting to static. The room erupted in alerts. His accounts were frozen, his assets seized by automated SEC triggers Tessa had set. Vincent's voice was grim. He's finished. Elliot, pale, stepped forward. Nia, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Nia's gaze softened, but only slightly. Prove it by showing up next time. Tessa rushed over, her green uniform catching the light. We did it, Nia. SEC's got him. He's facing charges. Nia exhaled, the weight lifting. She turned to Vincent. Your company's safe. CyberGuard's stronger than ever. Vincent's face softened, a rare warmth breaking through. You didn't just save us. You changed the game. He extended a hand. Director of Strategy, it's yours. Nia hesitated, then shook it, her voice firm. I'll take it, but I'm building my own team. Deal, Vincent said, a faint smile forming. You've earned it. Elliot shifted, his voice quiet. I'll step up, Nia. I mean it. Nia nodded, a flicker of trust forming. We'll see. Tessa grabbed Nia's arm, her eyes bright. You're unstoppable, girl. Drinks on me tonight. Nia laughed, the sound light unfamiliar. Coffee's more my thing. The team dispersed, the screen settling into a steady hum. Nia lingered, her white vest a beacon in the dim room. She opened a secure file, uploading the algorithm's takedown to the SEC, ensuring Marcus's ruin was permanent. The city skyline glowed beyond the glass, a network of power she now commanded. As she stepped onto the rooftop terrace, coffee cup in hand, Tessa joined her, their laughter soft against the night. Nia looked out, her past a shadow she'd conquered. Marcus had tried to erase her, but she'd rewritten the code. She wasn't just back, she was the one who owned the game. What a ride with Nia's triumph over Marcus. Did her comeback inspire you, or do you think Vincent took a risky bet? Share your thoughts below. We'd love to hear. Thanks for joining us on this thrilling journey at Blue Crescent and Harlow Innovations. Your support keeps these stories alive. Stay tuned for more drama and justice next time. See you soon.